Here's something interesting. I heard from the news cycles. I didn't even get a chance because my shoot job has been so fucking crazy. But Tua had another concussion,
Yeah, last
and
night, man.
I wanted to kind of talk to you about that because I apologies or an order here. I'm not entirely familiar with the Tua situation, and I'm curious if maybe you could explain it to me. And then anyone who's listening, what's the deal with that, and what happened on this week?
I was watching last night, and watching the Dolphins Bills game last night. I know this drops Monday, but we're recording on a Friday. Today's Friday. Yeah, today's
Today is
Friday.
Friday. Yeah, the last
Recording on a Friday. Last night,
I think.
Tua suffered of his fourth concussion in his NFL career, and he it's been unfortunate. He had a couple concussions. He had two really early, and then he had a third one. This is his fourth, and I think he's gonna have to. He's either gonna have to make a decision, or somebody's gonna have to make a decision for him to
Yeah.
protect him. And this whole Tua situation, between following his career and seeing everything happen, I can't help but think of the quarterback Kevin Cobb, who
Mm.
played for the Eagles. Uh, you know, Kevin Cobb played for the Eagles in his first season as starter, got knocked out first game with a concussion against the Green Bay Packers. And then that's when Michael Vick came in and took over.
Yeah.
Then the Eagles sent Cobb to the Arizona Cardinals, and then he ended up with the Bills. But he suffered a couple devastating concussions to the fact that where it did some serious damage to where he couldn't sleep and
Mm.
all these side effects. And I'm watching the Tua thing last night. I was like, man, hope this isn't another Kevin Cobb situation. And speaking of 30 for 30 documentaries, uh, there needs to be like a documentary on the whole Kevin Cobb thing because you know I mean, the Eagles trusted him enough that they traded Donovan McNabb to Washington to,
Yeah.
to start Cobb. And, Andy Reid being the quarterback whisperer, they could have had a decent run, but he got knocked out in that first game, man. And it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. I'm going to follow the news, as it comes along. But, it was, and this is where sports gets weird. Tua's, was running for the first down, and he got tackled by Damar Hamlin,
Mm.
same Damar Hamlin who technically died on the field 2 years ago
Mhm.
from a similar hit.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, similar but not entirely same kind of hit.
Wow.
And Tua went down, and it was an ugly
Oh, man.
situation with Tua. I hate to use the term "sell," but the way he reacted to his concussion, you're just like I was sitting on my couch. And I went, "Oh nope, that's not good."
No, that's bad. That's
Yeah,
real
and
bad.
the game wasn't going the Dolphins' way anyway, and it just went from bad to worse. But yeah, he lost control of his limbs, and it was ugly.
Yeah, we're looking at
Um,
Andrew in the chat here. He said about dead arm, this one's horrible. I guess he's referring to the concussion is what he's talking about.
yeah,
Or by dead arm, I mean he had no control over the limb.
yeah,
Andrew says Nowinski's. I believe you're referring to Chris Nowinski or Nowinski, the
yes,
former pro
yeah,
wrestler who's been on the cutting edge of the CTE and concussion protocol and things of that nature.
yeah,
I know we've talked about it before, on our other episodes and stuff, but there was one hit recently, I think it was in the past 6 months, where Giovanni Vinci took a drop kick wrong from, I want to say it was Kofi Kingston, and rung his bell. I mean, he was out, and
yeah,
they called the match right away. And I as a wrestling and I think just as a sports fan and probably just as a human in general, I appreciated the fact that the ref acted quickly. The doctor jumped in the ring. They took care of business. They did what they had to do, and that was the fucking end. It was like we're done. We're not going any farther. And I think that's a testament to how far people have come when it comes to the research with CTE and comes to concussions and stuff. Rob Van Dam just released something recently. I think it's a concussion awareness month, if I recall correctly. Rob just posted a video today about it. Um, but yeah, I mean, at some point, like to your point about Tua, like at what point do you step in to help somebody for their own well being?
Yeah,
If he's having that kind of trouble, um, even managing himself, like, at what point do you jump in and say, "Hey, man, this is probably not a good idea to do anymore"? You said it's his fourth, right?
I believe it's his
Oh
fourth.
my god, man.
Fourth diagnosed. I mean, I think back to my career, I'm like, how many concussions did I possibly have?
Yeah,
And not know. Like back in my day, it's like, oh, I got his bell rung,
yeah,
you know. Nobody really said concussion, you
yeah,
know. And if they did say concussion, it's probably for something that was way more, serious than a normal concussion.
right.
Oh, he's got a concussion when it was like a severe concussion. If it
Yeah,
wasn't,
yeah,
if it was a minor concussion, they were like, oh, he just got his bell rung to use soft language to lessen the blow, so to
yeah,
speak. So,
yeah,
I'm sure there's been times where I've been concussed. I just never knew about it. But to have four concussions in that short amount of time, somebody's going to have to make a decision.
yeah. Yeah,
You know,
I don't think there's any way around it. You're at some point, like you said, you have to if the person's not gonna look out for themselves, at what point do you jump in and say, "Hey, man, we gotta get this figured out." And, like I said, we wish him the best. We hope he's gonna we hope he recovers quickly and efficiently, but I think, as in all things, that's shit that you can't undo. The damage that happens to your brain, that's stuff that can't be undone, and, um, I hope it doesn't get to the point where it gets any worse, 'cause
I mean,
I don't wanna see that for anybody.
we've seen it happen with boxers.
Yeah.
Just take so many blows to the head. But Tua is supposed to be the face of the league, and you know, it's weird watching him play because he's left-handed. But that's besides the point. Yeah, I'm just gonna be a broken record here and say,
Yeah.
somebody's gonna have to make a decision for him,
Yeah.
and I'm just gonna keep following, the updates.
Yep.